Hi, my name is Dr. Hannah Hamlin, and I'm a physician and a person with type 1 diabetes. I want to share a story with you about a time where I was working at a camp for kids with type 1 diabetes. And I was in the middle of a session where we had just had kind of a break with a group of girls in their kind of preteen years. And we were having a lot of fun, and we sat down for this break and we were handing out ice cream as part of the snacks. And part of this camp with type 1 diabetes, the mission is to really give kids with type 1 the ability to have the experience of kind of a regular kids camp. And so they do a lot of things like sleeping under the stars and camping out and swimming, things that they might not get to do as often in their regular lives. And so I was handing out the ice cream and kind of we were coaching the kids through taking their insulin boluses and looking at their blood sugar levels. And there was one girl out of the group who looked really hesitant about this idea. And it was kind of one of the first couple days of camp, so just getting into the routine of things. And she was really afraid to eat the ice cream. And I got it, like I looked at her and I could see the fear of her blood sugar going high. I could see the fear of not wanting to do anything to hurt her body. And really, it was so challenging for her to be put in a place where she had this kind of social pressure to eat this ice cream in front of a group of girls she had just met that also had the same diagnosis. And I remember looking at her thinking, God, if there's anything I could say to her right now to help her through this emotional challenge, I want to make sure that I have the right thing to say. And so kind of dug through my previous challenges and it hit me. I realized that I was not in a place where I had a good relationship with food yet either. And my relationship with food was already pretty challenged, and I was honestly not doing well myself. I was choosing to eat or eat certain foods and avoid certain food groups pretty strictly, not giving myself a lot of room for treats or splurging. I was really had fear around food myself. I was at a place where I was a little underweight actually because of it, and I had a lot of stress around mealtimes, and stress around mealtimes specifically in social settings where I wasn't 100% in control of what I was getting to put in my body. And I realized that fear for me came from so wanting to have great blood glucose levels, to really try and honor my body in a way where I was not doing any further damage that I knew my kind of not perfect blood sugar already was. And so eating perfectly and becoming, really, really healthy was an avenue that I was essentially exploring to try and get there. But it was in that moment, looking at the girl with the fear of the ice cream, where I really saw myself, and I saw the parts of my own health with diabetes that I hadn't yet kind of conquered or gotten to a place where I felt good with. And I am so thankful for that moment, because after that summer at camp, I went home and really committed to figuring out the nutrition piece of things, really getting my head straight about my relationship with food and reconsidering where I was, because so clearly in that moment, this beautiful girl kind of reflected back to me that there was a better way, and so I don't think I said the right things to that girl that year. I know that I wasn't in a place where I could help her to my fullest potential, but I am so glad that she reflected to me that there was room for improvement, and that inspiration took me to a place where after a year or so of working on it, I figured it out, and I have a great relationship with food now, and I don't feel restricted, and social settings are easy for me, and I feel really good in my body with type 1 diabetes, and I feel empowered about it. But if it wasn't for that girl and showing her true emotions at camp that year, I wouldn't be where I am. And so I'm incredibly grateful for that experience, and I want to pay it forward, because I know that there are other people with type 1 diabetes out there like me that are having a troubled relationship with food. There's no question. In the medical statistics, we see that upwards of 40% of females with type 1 diabetes have a challenging relationship with food at some point in their life. And so I know I'm not alone. And I know now from my experience working through it and trying a lot of extreme diets and trying a lot of loose diets. And really, it wasn't so much about what I was eating, it was about what I was thinking and how I was feeling around the food, and getting my mind straight and really choosing how I wanted to feel, creating, kind of imagining and synthesizing a powerful, healthy, happy, empowered relationship with food, realizing that it was fuel for my body, realizing that it was nourishing me, and that some of those things that we know are more inflammatory aren't hurting me if I go into them, with an empowering mindset occasionally, and really finding my own balance. And what's really cool is now I'm at a place where my own balance isn't just one thing either. I've got the emotional kind of mindset resiliency to be able to say, like, okay, on vacation, I'm just gonna eat whatever I want because it's vacation. And when I get back, I'll, choose more vegetables at the grocery store, or decide to ebb and flow with different chapters of my life based on my workout cycles, based on my menstruation. I'm able to kind of flex things around and still feel good about it. And that's the key, right? Is not just getting good blood sugar levels, but it's also about feeling good. And so I've finally gotten to a place where I can do both confidently, and I want to be able to pay that forward. And so one of the ways that I've started kind of recording my journey and what it took for me to get here was through a course called Type 1 Diabetes Mindset Reset. And I have it as a workbook available on Amazon. I also have accompanying videos on my website for anybody who's interested in kind of taking the first step to work through it. It's not a huge time commitment. It's about 5 minutes a day for 21 days to really kind of help change the patterns and the thought processes. So that's available, but if you have any specific questions and there's anything I can answer through this format, please reach out to me, because I really want to help people figure out what it took me so long to figure out sooner, so that you can spend more time in the healthy, happy chapter and less time in the restricted, scared of food mindset. And I know I was there too long. So also, if you are interested in learning more content from me or following along as I kind of post more educational videos, please subscribe and like my videos. I'm just getting started, so the more of that I get up front, the more it will help other people like you find videos like this. So I appreciate you, and have a wonderful day.